out there. But all right. Oh man, while I was on the live, he withdrew. Oh Lord, I thought when y'all was saying he withdrew, I thought y'all were just talking about from Senate. I knew that. Let's go over to Vanity Fair. Okay. All right. This is exactly what I've been waiting on. What the hell? Why ain't nobody tell me he just pulled out of that? Oh, you going down, brother. Now the next attorney general is probably get him out. All right, here we go. We'll go over to ABC. Y'all ain't tell me. Come on, guys. You got to give me up-to-date info. Man, y'all got to tell me. You got to be specific. You got to say, Bo, he withdrew from the AG. I'm thinking y'all talking about when he left the Senate. I'm over here talking about mass deportation and shit. Y'all got to tell me. Y'all got to fill me. Pause. Y'all got to inform me. Inform. No one said, let me. I'm going. Y'all. I don't see one thing that said he withdrew from AG. All I'm seeing is Matt Gaetz. I don't know if you touched on that one, Mo. No, I ain't touching on that. Matt Gaetz is a fucking freak. He's a freaky ass nigga. He's a 69 guy. And then yeah, Miss Derry B said he just stepped down. Ain't no one tell me nothing about that, man. All right, here we go. Matt Gaetz. Now, this is a good one because ooh, I got some people I got to talk to. They were like, oh, no, it's going to be good to go. No. I knew that this wasn't going to last long anyway. All right, we got Matt Gaetz on deck. So Matt Gaetz, if you don't know about Matt Gaetz is a Republican from Florida. Matt Gaetz is a freaky motherfucker. Matt Gaetz is a nasty motherfucker. Now, there's been reports that there was 2 underage women by the age of 17 that were involved with one of these guys that are close to Donnie, which we know that Donnie has a close relationship with a lot of people that pertain to minors. Okay. And Matt Gaetz actually was a Senate down in Florida. Now, Matt Gaetz stepped away from the Senate because he decided that he was going to get with Trump and become the attorney general of the whole United States, basically the top prosecutor in the whole nation. Now, does he have any experience as being a lawyer or anything? Hell to the no. Another unqualified DEI hire that Trump had to try to put in his cabinet, along with the weekend host for Fox. That's probably about to do the same thing because he has a R-word allegation from 2017, along with Linda McMahon, who lied about what she did when she went to college and really has like a French literature degree and has no educational degree. Just a list of failures within the cabinet. Matt Gaetz stepped away because there was a report, a special report and investigation that came down by the Senate, because there's a lawyer that come out. He has 2 young women. Women that were underage at the time and they were involved with him. And it also turns out that in this report, we found out that Matt Gaetz was actually flying them to New York City to Fox Studios, which is very interesting because at one point there was a clip between Matt Gaetz and Tucker Carlson. Now, you remember Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox. They got rid of his ass for lying before they got hit with that $1 billion suit. And Matt Gaetz and Tucker Carlson are on television together, live air, saying, hey, you and your wife actually came out on a dinner with me and this woman. You're probably going to remember. Turns out that woman allegedly was this minor. Now, what Matt Gaetz is saying, we're just jumping around, just giving an overview of what's going on here. Matt Gaetz said that the relationship between the 17-year-old and him, he's not admitting to having the sex with, but they're saying he had sex with the minor, right? Then once he found out she was 17, allegedly he waited till she was 18 to continue this relationship. Now, what everyone was telling me, Mo, hey, he stepped down. What they're talking about is running for attorney general. And that's because Trump tried to put him in office. Now, what we know what's going on with Trump is very interesting, because I know a lot of people are saying it's white privilege that Trump has, but it's not necessarily white privilege. It's more of presidential privilege. Now, his case with his 34 convictions, They're actually holding that off till 2029. See, at first we thought they were just going to dismiss it. They said, no, 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 no. Hold it off to 2029. Because when we get law and order back in the States, we'll get rid of him. So what Trump is trying to do is implement all of these people that are going to help him out. Matt Gaetz being one of them. No experience, DEI hire. This is what they mean by DEI hire. You know, you just throw a motherfucker that's inexperienced in there. Now, he was going to put him in there. So any cases that were coming against Trump, oh, I got the AG on my side. We're going to dismiss him anyway. Of course, we know that there's going to be a blanket pardon that Trump is going to give himself before he leaves, just in case he does end up going to jail for this. But with Matt Gaetz becoming the attorney general, it's going to take the Congress to actually vote him in. Now, I know a lot of people are saying they got the House, they got the Senate. This is true. The Republicans do. But until that new Senate and Republicans, I mean, not the Republicans, but the House, they take place when the new cabinet and everything comes in, they still got to vote on them. And there are some people that still have some fucking integrity within the Senate that are Republicans that said, hey, if that report and investigation about Matt Gaetz is true, we need to release it. But of course, who is trying to cover it up? Trump is saying, don't release it. He's doing all these tweets. He's on Truth Social. But this shit is so real. And we knew it was real because all of these motherfuckers, we know that Trump is found liable for sexual assault and the R word also. He also had to pay all that money. So what Trump was trying to do was have the Senate go into recess. And what a recess is, hey, you know what? We're shut down. And what a recess allows the president to do is pick his cabinet without FBI checks, and you can just push them straight through. So no matter who he assigned to a part on his cabinet, they will be able to go through if there was a recess. But as I mentioned, there's a couple of senators that do have some integrity. Even though they may be on his side, they're still like, that's not the way this country is ran. So there's no research, which leads us to Matt Gaetz, who was trying to get pushed through. So this would get pushed through. They go to recess. The report would never come out. But the report is so damaging that the senators are like, hell no, we can't have you as the attorney general, even if you're on our side, because you're too fucked up in the head. You're a nasty, sick individual. So now we have him withdrawn, and we're going to go into this and see why the withdrawal was there. Now, I hope you guys are following. You know, I'm trying to keep it real so we can get into this because I am very interested in this because this is breaking news, and I definitely didn't expect this. I thought they were going to ride this till the wheels fell off, but obviously the wheels are off. There's no way you're getting around this. So let's go ahead and jump on into this. Chill TV said Grandview was a good school. Yeah, I went to Grandview my junior year and my senior year, but I went to Ruskin my freshman and sophomore year, so I was already mentally and physically scarred. All right, here we go. Matt Gaetz.
This is an ABC News special report.
We are coming on the air because former Congressman Matt Gaetz is withdrawing his consideration for Attorney General. He posted on X saying as much amid concerns about sexual misconduct allegations and also concerns about his limited legal experience. I want to go to our chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl, who's on the phone right now. John, what do you make of Gaetz now issuing this message after so much from President-elect Trump and Gaetz himself saying that he was going forward until this confirmation process?
On one level, it's not surprising, Diane. Gaetz was facing a very steep uphill climb. A number of Republican senators, and remember, they were only going to get Republican senators, but they have a 53-seat majority. They could only afford to lose 4. They weren't going to get a single Democrat. And a number of Republican senators had publicly been expressing deep skepticism and concern about the Gaetz nomination. I am told that privately, several of them were even more direct with the Trump transition team, saying that there was simply no way that they would vote to confirm Gaetz. So you had a situation where Gaetz, with all...
Look at that creepy face right there. Just this picture alone, I'm not voting for this guy.
all of the controversy swirling around his nomination, was simply not going to get the votes to be confirmed. That clearly is a driving factor in this rather stunning dropout. And I say not surprising on one level, stunning on another level, because what the Trump team had been signaling is that they were going to push for this. They were going to fight for this. They were going to make Republican senators unwilling to vote for Gaetz pay if they dared, cross the president-elect, who they believe has a mandate to get the cabinet of his choice. So, in that sense, this is a very abrupt reversal from where they were just a few hours ago.
And I want to bring in our Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill, because, Jay, this comes a day after the House Ethics Committee couldn't agree on whether or not to release a report, an investigation that they've been doing into Gaetz before he resigned from Congress. How much was that an indication of the challenge he was going to face trying to get confirmed by the Senate?
Well, it was a demonstration, Diane, of how rocky of a confirmation process this could have been for Matt Gaetz, because we knew from Senate Republicans that regardless of what the House Ethics Committee decided to do in terms of publicly releasing that report, they wanted to know what the House Ethics Committee and the Department of Justice, which also investigated these allegations and declined to bring criminal charges, uncovered over the course of their investigations. And senators had said they had already requested Democrats in the Senate what the FBI uncovered into Matt Gaetz. They were positioning themselves to see what the House Ethics.
Now, of course, they're talking about, just to throw this in real quick, also with this cabinet and trying to get the Senate to do a recess so they wouldn't vote on it, none of Trump's cabinet selectees nor him have went through an FBI background check. Now, they're not going to he's with Secret Service all the time, so they pretty much know what's going on with him. But none of them has signed off to do FBI background checks. They're just trying to just get and weasel anybody they can into these seats and fill up the cabinet. So you see Trump talking about, hey, don't pass this bill. We got to get these people through. Republicans, y'all need to take a recess or it's going to be tough out here. Basically threatening Republicans to do as he says. It's more of a dictatorship. This is kind of what you've seen when it came to like Kim Jong-un. You see this with a lot of dictators. You've seen it with, the Hitler party. You appoint anyone that doesn't oppose you. And if they do, you terrorize them, which we hear him always talking about weaponizing the judicial system. That's exactly what he is about to do. Have Matt Gaetz in there and then go after every single person that went against him. But let's continue on, because this is about Matt Gaetz getting up out of here, which I'm not sure unless they get him on state charges, because whoever they do appoint as the AG is still going to probably drop any federal charges against him. But I don't know how this is going to get picked up. This is very interesting because I've never seen anything like this where the Senate did an investigation. Until they release this report, of course, none of us will know anything, and it has to be released from them before the police can actually pick it up, whether that's state or local PD.
Committee uncovered into Matt Gaetz. And so there were senators who wanted to know exactly what was found into Matt Gaetz, which sources told us was a woman telling the committee that when she was 17 years old and in high school, and Matt Gaetz was a sitting member of Congress in 2017, that he had sex with her. Women telling the committee, according to their attorney, that they witnessed Matt Gaetz having sex with a minor, that he paid them for sex through Venmo records, which ABC News also obtained. Point being, what we saw dripping out of that ethics committee investigation clearly demonstrated to senators that this was going to be an uphill battle for Matt Gaetz. And there were some senators who wanted Gaetz to go through this fight. Lindsey Graham said yesterday, after he met with Gaetz right up here on Capitol Hill, that Matt Gaetz should have a confirmation hearing and have the chance, in Lindsey Graham's words, to quote unquote confront his accusers. But Matt Gaetz now dropping out of this process, the results of that House investigation now remaining in limbo as to whether or not they will ever see the light of day, and certainly no Senate confirmation hearing in Matt Gaetz's future, Diane.
And John, there was a lot of backlash against this nomination from the start, not only because of those allegations, but also because of Gaetz's limited legal experience. So where does that put the Trump transition team now? Who will they name if it's not Gaetz?
Yeah, one Republican Senator, Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma, said that he didn't know that Gaetz was an attorney until he was announced as the candidate for Attorney General. So yes, his experience and his approach to the Justice Department was a big part of this, as were the allegation. In terms of what comes next, Trump interviewed several candidates for Attorney General. You can certainly go back to that list, but here's what I would look for, Diane. As Gaetz was announced, he also announced his choice for Deputy Attorney General. That is Todd Blanche, who is his lead defense counsel on a number of his cases, most prominently the New York hush money case. Todd Blanche became the personal lawyer to Donald Trump. He is a former prosecutor. He is widely respected, and he is somebody that clearly has the trust of Donald Trump. I would look to whether or not he would consider elevating Blanche, who he's already chosen and already announced as the Deputy Attorney General nominee, to be the nominee for Attorney General.
And we know that Gaetz could opt to retake his seat when the congressional session resumes in January. We'll be waiting to watch more on all of that. John Carl, Jay O'Brien, thank you both.
Now, the scary thing, well, not for us, it's actually a good thing. Now, if Todd Blanche, Trump's lawyer, that's, saying in charge of the hush money and everything that they're trying to get that under wraps, which appointing him to Attorney General will be good for Trump while he's here, but him having ethics could actually backfire for Trump in the end. Now, you have attorney-client privilege, but he could make a deal with the Senate, because once this house of cards is going to crumble, trust me, by the end of this 4 years, there's going to be a lot of people going to jail for a lot of shit that's going on in this next 4 years and what happened prior to it. You see everyone starting to get exposed now. Todd Blanche, his actual lawyer, what he could do is turn and testify against Trump. Now, he will break attorney-client privilege, but this right here, yeah, he'll probably potentially lose his license, but this would keep him out of any trouble that he's done if he could flip on Trump, which we've seen the same thing happen with old boy. You know what I'm saying? He's always around Cohen. He's always going at Trump, he was one of the lawyers for him. It could be the same route. Avoid jail time and just say, hey, this is where all the bones are. Get Trump's ass. Let me stay free. So this could be bad for Trump if he brings in his own personal lawyer and shit starts to get ugly and he gets caught up in all of this, because he's already potentially at risk to lose his license if he does a lot of shit illegally while he's the AG. So I would stay far away from that. But as I was mentioning earlier, there's an interview in 2021 between Tucker Carlson. I don't know if you guys seen this, Tucker Carlson and Matt Gaetz, where Matt Gaetz tells on himself. Now, this is after we found out that he was flying these minors up to the Fox studio and was actually out and about with them. Here we go. This is in 2021. He ropes in, let me see, Tucker Carlson livid after Republican Matt Gaetz tries to rope him into controversy. This is back in 2021. Tucker may have allegedly known that this woman was this child was 17, and he's like, whoa, don't bring me into that. I don't remember none of that. I don't know what you're talking about. It's crazy, but it's always been in our face. That's one thing about these motherfucking dirtbags. They can't hide what they do. This is who they are. So I'll play that for you guys. Come on, load up.
Tonight, new information emerging about an investigation involving Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. A source familiar with the probe telling CNN Gaetz is being investigated by the Department of Justice for possible sex trafficking and prostitution, including allegations involving a minor. All things the Republican strongly denies.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled with a 17-year-old woman, and that is verifiably false. People can look at my travel records and see that that is not the case.
Instead, Gaetz claims,
yeah, because we found out you waited till she was 18. We found out you waited till she was 18. So you may have been traveling with an 18-year-old, but let's go ahead and continue.
He and his family are the victim, the target of an extortion attempt.
On March 16th, my father got a text message demanding a meeting wherein a person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away.
Pensacola-based federal prosecutors are examining the extortion claim, according to the source familiar with the investigation. That is being handled apart from the other investigation. The congressman accusing a former federal prosecutor by name during an interview on Fox News.
His name is David McGee. He was a top official in the leadership in the Northern District of Florida as a prosecutor. He currently works at the Beggs and Lane law firm. As a matter of fact, one of the recordings that was made at the FBI and Department of Justice request occurred at that law firm. And the money that was supposed to be paid today that would have shown even more evidence of David McGee's work in this extortion scheme.
Gaetz also called on the FBI and DOJ to release any tapes of surveillance involving his father.
And if the FBI and Department of Justice will release the tapes that they are in possession of, the American people will see what is really going on.
McGee's law firm, Beggs and Lane, released a statement denying the accusations against him. The allegation by the congressman is both false and defamatory. Mr. McGee was the chief United States attorney for the Northern District of Florida 25 years ago. During his tenure with the Department of Justice, his reputation for integrity and ethical conduct was impeccable. CNN's source did not disclose who was being investigated for the extortion. The interview with Tucker Carlson at times got uncomfortable, with Gaetz suggesting that the talk show host had dinner with Gaetz and a woman who could be at the center of the investigation by the FBI into Gaetz's.
Here we go. This is where he's on TV. He's talking about he didn't do any of this, but he's giving away that, hey, Tucker, you and your wife had dinner with me and some random person.
Conduct. Carlson said he did not remember the woman or the dinner.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly. But I would like to know who. So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl who you had a relationship with. Is that true? And who are they? Who is this girl? What are they talking about? The New York Times.
The person doesn't exist. I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false.
Even Carlson left the interview sounding confused.
You just saw our Matt Gaetz interview. That was one of the weirdest interviews I've ever conducted.
Today, the most powerful Republican in the House, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, called the allegations serious, but said he was waiting to learn more.
If it comes out to be true, yes, we would remove him if that was the case. But right now, as Matt Gaetz says, it is not true, and we don't have any information. So let's get all the information.
And as you can see, the congressman's political future very much in doubt. That was not a ringing endorsement from the House Minority Leader as they wait to learn more about this investigation. He did get support from a fellow member of the Freedom Caucus, Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio, who is the ranking member on the Judiciary Committee. In a statement to CNN, he said that he believed Matt Gaetz and said that he shouldn't be removed from that committee. But right now, Wolf, a lot of pressure on the congressman from Florida.
Yeah.
I hear that you get a lot of.
Another one bites the dust, and another one does, and another one does, and another one bites the dust. Oh yeah, it's going down, man. They on the ass. Well, that's Matt Gaetz, and we're gonna wait and see what happens from here. Is there gonna be any criminal charges? Probably not, because this is what, over 7 years ago. Now, there'll probably be some civil charges. These ladies, they do have lawyers. Both of them are represented by the same lawyer. They said they seen him. So the first 17-year-old says she seen him having intercourse with the other 17-year-old on like a air hockey table or something of that nature. And then he was involved with her. He paid both of them money, allegedly. But we found out that there's actual Venmo payments between him and them. And he was paying through, who they say he was paying through? His like his nephew or something. He was paying through his account to try to cover up his tracks or something like that, allegedly. So it's all kinds of wild shit going on. But that's Matt Gaetz up in